Oh, hello. I didn't see you there. The episode of the AFL Armchair Advisors you are about to watch has been rated MA for mostly atrocious. I, Rich, have finally been caught by the long arm of COVID, and as such cannot be a part of tonight's episode. Therefore, there have been some creative changes. Over the next hour, you will bear witness to horrors no mortal mind can comprehend, born straight from the twisted psyche of one Desmond Van Bus. Oh sure, there'll be AFL tips, bets and insight for all 9 games across round 10. But the damage that this episode shall cause to your mind, to your body, and indeed to your very soul, shall be far worse than even listening to Kelly Underwood commentate the Eagles playing the Kangaroos. So, without further ado, here is tonight's feature presentation, brought to you by Australia's answer to the monster from the Goonies and Sensible Dan. So good night, good luck, and God bless you, Australia. Except to the bastard that gave me COVID. I hope Jonathan Patton messages your daughter.
Hello and welcome. Oh, it's time, Dan. It is time. It is not Vader time. It is Des time. Welcome to the AFL Armchair Advisors. And can you hear that? No, you can't, because Rich is gone. Rich is gone, and it is the Des Takeover, and I have never been more excited. Oh, in the Gold Coast, I spoke to Batman and I said, Batman, I'm in a podcast as the AFL Armchair Advisors and I'm the global field correspondent. And one day I'll be the anchor. One day I will take Richie's spot as the anchor. Do you know what Batman said? He said, you're stupid. You're stupid. Well, guess what, Batman? You're stupid, mate. You are stupid because I have achieved my destiny. Oh, and I could not do it without a man that is very sensible, which is why they call him Sensible Dan. How are you, mate?
I'm feeling good, mate. I knew this day would come and I've been fearing it for a very long time. Unfortunately, it is here. You are the star of the show this week.
Oh, I am the star. I've been waiting for this. Oh, the lights are on bright. Oh, I'm just soaking it up. I am just soaking it up. In all seriousness, so Richie does have Rona, does have this spicy cough, but he is going good. He is going good. Yep. We're in contact with him. Yep. Everything is A-okay. Man's just chilling, having a week off, having a pretty good time.
I don't think he would say this is okay, because, I mean, really, this is his baby, and the fact that you're now steering it is... it's a problem.
Yeah, well...
it's a big problem.
Well, this ship is going to be just like the Titanic. Iceberg and all. Let's get into the footy, guys. All right, it's the Friday night game. 7:20 at Marvel Stadium.
Nice work.
We've got the Carlton Blues up against the Sydney Swans. What do you think, Dan?
I'm very impressed that you managed to get all that out of your mouth.
Oh, just wait till...
even the right stadium and everything. Unbelievable.
As we get a little bit further down, as we get to these last couple games...
It's going to unravel.
It's going to be real shonky.
Oh, absolutely. Look, the Blues, mate, genuine threat this year. I reckon they are playing some fantastic footy. We all tipped GWS last week, thinking that Leon Cameron getting fired might give the boys a bit of pep. Did not. They went out just like Leon's entire reign. The Blues, though, without... Harry Mackay, they just look impossible to stop. I don't know. I genuinely don't know when that midfield is cooking at full strength. I genuinely do not know how you stop them.
But I think that's the issue, though. Like the Giants, they had lulls. Carlton had lulls, and the Giants capitalised on that. Mm-hmm. And that makes me nervous when they come up against a good side. It's just whether Sydney is that good side.
Well, we don't know, do we?
I don't know.
They've had some awful performances the last couple of weeks. In saying that, though, nice bounce back against the listless Dons. Callum Mills, absolutely massive. Tom Papley was huge on his return. Got good games out of Goulden, Warner and Blakey. But as we said, consistency is the issue.
It is really difficult. But, as you know, I love to jump on trends. I love to jump on peaks and troughs. I'm going to back in the Swannies this week.
Biggest bandwagoner I know.
I think the Swans, I just think they're more consistent.
Yep.
I just think Carlton, in those lulls, I think Sydney are going to capitalise it with a 1-2 punch. And I think Sydney, in Melbourne, I reckon they're going to prioritise those games, and they never really play well in Sydney.
Nah.
So lucky they're not playing in Sydney. Hey?
They absolutely hate playing at home, which is
so
just
unusual.
So unusual, yeah. I'm actually going to tip the Blues. I really like them this year, and I just think that they're going to continue on their upward trajectory. I would ask you if you had any bets, but I just know that you don't.
I definitely don't. I'm very overwhelmed right now.
I'm not surprised.
Do you know, though, I'm going to give a shout. Sam Walsh, how good is Sam? Like, all year is looking amazing.
Yep.
But just, you look at moments in those games, and it's just like far out. Cripps and Walsh, when they are firing, you're like,
And obviously
orgasmic.
behind them you've got Hewitt and Chera and Matt Kennedy just doing their bits and pieces. Statistically, according to Champion Data, and take that for what you will, that was actually Sam Walsh's best game at AFL level.
I've seen better.
I've seen better as well.
Much better.
Look,
but he looked phenomenal. Defensively.
I'm a statistics man, and I like statistics. So if they say that was the best, then good on Sam Walsh. Look, bets-wise, I've got Will Hayward for a goal. He just keeps getting it done.
He's
good. Down to $1.29, but nice little fluffer. Corey Durden for a goal. Had 2 on the weekend. Looked real good with his mate Mott's in the team. So $1.52 for him. George Hewitt for 25 plus. Goes without saying. Narrative bet, old team. We'll want to show them up. So that's $1.31. And Chad Warner, the man with the worst haircut in the AFL.
Nah, sick. I rate it.
It's not good.
WB.
It's not good at all. $1.31 for 20 plus disposals.
Very, very nice. Well, we punched through that one relatively quickly, but I feel like this is an exciting Friday night game. I'm actually looking forward to it because we've had some stinkers the last couple of weeks. It's been, as I scroll back.
Really, this should be pretty close. I would imagine this will be within 20 points.
I think the winner of this is going to punch and I know we're very early days, but he's going to punch their ticket into the top 4. Mm-hmm. And
it is starting to separate a little bit now. We're seeing the top 4 or 5 sort of separate themselves from the pack, which is always good to see.
And speaking of former top 4 sides, we're going to jump to GMHBA Stadium. We've got the Cats up against the Power. And I don't think this one is going to be as 50-50. I feel like this one's pretty elementary.
Do you?
I think it is. I think Port have been playing well though, and I actually bet on Port when they were 1-5 because to make the 8, they were paying $6. I do not know what Sportsbet were thinking. I do not know.
That's good crack. Good money.
It's actually Sportsbet totally underestimated Port, and we are not the biggest Port fans. If you listen to any podcast, go back to round 3 and listen to the showdown analysis. 0-5, but they have been looking good.
Yeah, they have.
They have been looking good, and they're slowly getting back into stride, which is what we said would happen. The advisors did tip that, and I think anyone with a functioning footy brain would tell you that.
Yep, mate. There's too much talent in that team to be bad for a full season. Way too much talent. And even in that game, they went to sleep for the middle 2 quarters. They really just did nothing. And still won by a very nice sum of 69 points. So I really like the way Port's going about it at the moment. And what we saw from the Cats on the weekend, standard Geelong. Good, not great. They're just one of those teams that is going to be around the mark, but I genuinely do not think they have the gas to win a premiership.
It's just it's so nice to watch when you predict something and then you watch it, you put it out there and then it happens. Mm-hmm. And every week when we say you've got to watch out for St Kilda, it's literally like when you give a fighting analogy. Yep. You're up against the big Brazilian guy that literally just throws bombs, just throws haymakers all day. Mm-hmm. That's St Kilda, right? And you're the big 6'4" guy. All you got to do is tuck your chin in. Mm-hmm. But this Brazilian guy's throwing bombs. And St Kilda's bombs are 5 goals in about 2 minutes. And they cracked them with them.
You said it in maybe round 3 or 4. They just go on. They go for a sleep, and then they go on this rampage. Classic Cooper Gretsch analysis, rampaging Saints, where they kick like 6 goals in 10 minutes.
It's actually really good to watch.
And you basically just cannot stop them. You just have to sit there and wait until they tire themselves out and stop, or hope they do what they do other weeks and kick 15 behinds in a row.
They even did it. Yeah. Oh, that is always difficult. But we aren't talking about the Saints. We're talking, the Catters, but the Catters still got rolled over. Mm-hmm. That's a tough game. Exactly. That was a really, really tough game for them to lose.
Danger is a shadow of himself. He does not look great at the moment. They're not getting any pull from Brad Close. His early season form's gone out the window. Nartle and Parfitt, just non-events in the middle of the ground. I really don't like how the Cats are playing at the moment. I'm going to tip them because it's at GMHBA.
That's why I think it's elementary.
If this was at Adelaide Oval, I would not be tipping them right now.
No, but I just think the travel, and I just think Port's run of form. They have looked pretty good.
Yep.
In the Doggies games, there was flashes where you look, and I'm taking this Port team that played the Dogs, and I'm putting them up against the Cats in my head, even away with the wind and all the conditions. I just think they will struggle. Because they do have these sloppy moments where Geelong will capitalise. Because they still are a good footy team.
In saying
just
that,
not a great
they
footy team.
already have lost to Freo at GMHBA this year, so it's certainly not out of the equation for Port to steal one.
I just rate Freo a lot more than Port at the moment.
Yeah, they were real good on the weekend, weren't they?
Eek.
We'll get to them in a minute. I've got some bets for you. Robbie Gray for a goal. He missed on the weekend, didn't kick one for the first time in God knows how long.
Since I was 10.
Already out to $1.41. That's great value. That's just massive disrespect. So I'll take that. Isaac Smith for 20 plus, been in great nick this year. He just doesn't age at all. He just runs.
He actually
looks
fantastic.
Yeah, he's probably one of the only older Cats
He's
players
gone
who
to the
just
cold.
he just thrives. And I've gone under for this game, under 160.5. I feel like this could be a bit of a defensive slugfest.
Let's see what the weather's like.
I feel like it could be a bit of a slugfest between these two teams. They haven't been scoring a hell of a lot of points this year, so I really could see it being pretty low. If the weather's cold, wet, woolly, it's even better.
So when are they playing? They are playing at 1:15.
Yeah, they are.
It's going to be 13.
Cold.
That's bloody cold.
That's very cold. I'm pretty confident in the under this week. So yeah, $1.88 for that. I can't see it being a very high scoring game, put it that way.
But if Port can get the dub here, that's very
Huge.
big for their season.
And,
that is very, very
and
big.
terrible for the Catters.
Oh, that's horrible. Do you know? Yeah, I don't really like either of these teams. So whoever loses, it'll be
Big
it'll
ha-has.
be ha-has,
Big
big
lows.
big ha-has, big Nelsons on their faces.
Where are we off to next, mate?
Where are we off to next? Let me unlock the phone because otherwise it will be a shamble. We're going to go to Mars Stadiums.
It's a shambles anyway.
Mars
let's be honest.
Stadiums.
I actually think we're doing well so far.
I think we've done very well. Hey, Rich, guess what? You and Batman. Kiss this one.
Take another week, Rich. Take another week, mate.
The Des takeover is real. Rich is going to be sitting here next week.
Absolutely.
You've been handballed over.
Demoted.
Handballed over, mate. Handballed over. Oh, we're going to Mars Stadium and we've got the Doggies up against the Suns. Gold Coast Suns. I'm so happy for them.
Absolutely.
I am so happy
absolutely
for the
stoked.
Gold Coast Suns. They've got the man of the round.
Yep.
Thanks, Adam Cooney.
Yep.
I honestly, and for a Brownlow medalist, you have to respect a Brownlow medalist. I don't respect many things that come out of his mouth.
No.
His opinion is just ridiculous. I don't know if it's clickbait or like what he's thinking.
But you respect this opinion, obviously.
I respect the opinion of man of the round, Mavi Orchol. Does that not have a ring to it?
I mean, it does, and it should be that every round, irrespective of performance. But
I'm telling you, he's a star.
Look, I did probably disagree with that a little bit. I thought there was a few performances worthwhile, maybe a little bit. Adam Treloar against his old team, 3 goals.
Adam
35
Treloar
touches.
is
But
the
anyway,
one that comes to mind.
Look, hats off to Mavior. He's had a great season so far, and he's been a very astute pickup for the Suns. They're just looking suddenly unstoppable. Their defence is watertight. They had 65 inside 50s against them on the weekend. Every time it come in, Sam Collins, Charlie Ballard, put the dukes up, intercept marks, send it straight back out the other way. They're looking really good. Their mids are on fire. I would almost back Witt, Miller, Rao and Anderson against anybody in the league. I reckon that midfield stacks up against anybody.
Oh, well, they at least give them a challenge.
Yep.
At least give the top guys a challenge. And they did. They did against Melbourne. They did very, very well against teams like Melbourne.
Absolutely. And they're meeting a very good midfield this week. So I'm really looking forward to that battle in the middle of the ground. As far as the Dogs go, are they back? Don't know. Just don't know.
They're not back.
They played a really good game against Collingwood. They absolutely dominated them for large parts of it. Aaron Norton is looking sore. He is looking real worse for wear. He's carrying that forward line on his back every single week. And
man's got half a leg.
Yeah, he's not looking good. And I don't know if you saw the moment in the game where Darcy Moore tried to spoil him into the first row. Did you see that?
I didn't know.
It was horrible. The ball was going out in the full. Darcy Moore comes clattering into him from 40 metres away. It just pile drove him into the fence. It was not good. And I was just like, come on.
Man's already in the hospital. Let him play.
Yeah, exactly. So one thing that does worry me about the Suns, they only had 36 inside 50s last week. That's real low.
Lucky they had trouble slotting those pies,
Yeah, exactly.
mate. I'll tell you that.
Even in the wet weather, that's not good. But I really want to get behind them. I really want to get behind the Suns. I'm going to tip the Dogs, though.
I'm only going to tip the Dogs because it is in Ballarat.
Yep.
It is in Ballarat, and hence the name, hence the mascot, Gold Coast Suns. They are used to playing in this humid, nice, warm...
Apart from Chol, he can play anywhere.
Chol can play anywhere.
Literally
anywhere.
anywhere.
I'm like, my back right now, I need a towel. Where's Richie at? Richie can be the towel boy to wipe my back every time I talk about the Gold Coast Suns because far out... they've looked unreal. Who's been doing their fixturing though? If you scroll back, they've Sydney, Freo. Lucky they beat them.
Yep.
But even before that, they played Collingwood, which is a bit of a bye round. But even though they lost it,
Yep.
But even before then, they've played all the top teams.
They've had a rough go.
Far out. Give them a spell, and they've done really well.
The good thing about that is that means they are due to play some ordinary football.
They're going to have Adelaide and North Melbourne in there.
They should hopefully get a few more wins on the board. I'd love to see them. I really would love to see them push for top 8.
It's just,
I don't think they're going to get there. But the biggest thing for me, 2 weeks ago, Caroline Wilson was saying, I've heard that Alistair Clarkson's going to be in the running for the next head coach position of the Gold Coast Suns. Stuart Dew is still in a job.
Yeah.
And he's doing a very fine job, might I add.
They've just beaten,
His star key forward went down before the season even started, and everyone already just wrote him off. Not going to be able to score goals, not going to be able to do anything. He's taken, obviously, you've got your Mabby or Chol. Levi Casbolt is having basically a career year.
Probably the best year I've ever seen Levi. You see Levi Casbolt mark a ball, and you have no idea. It's literally like me being the anchor of this pod.
Yep.
You just don't know where it's going to go.
Yep.
You don't know what's going to happen.
Yep.
But he actually has been kicking pies this year.
He has. And like I said, I really appreciate what Stuart Dew's been able to do with very little cattle. Even last year, first game of the year, Witts went down with the ACL, Rao went down. That's your 2 best players.
Yeah.
Dust. And he manages to make him competitive more than he doesn't. So I'm super stoked for them.
Well, and when you think about it, they've beaten Sydney and Freo.
Yep.
Going into last week, that was 3 and 4 favourites to win the flag?
Yep.
They were ahead of Carlton. Mm-hmm. Like, far out. That's not bad. And Gold Coast have knocked them down a peg.
Yep.
Bumped up the odds a little bit for the premiership.
Absolutely.
But far out. I got to go the Dogs, though. I have to go the Dogs.
Yeah, you have to. I don't think...
Dogs lost to Adelaide. Did they in Ballarat? I believe.
It was in Ballarat. Yeah, it was in Ballarat. So it's not out of the question. The Suns are on
a lot better than Adelaide.
But I just can't, in good conscience, tip.
We're not going to advise you to tip the Suns, but you can bet with your heart.
Absolutely,
bet with your heart.
I will be.
I'll be too.
I'll be taking a punt on the weekend. And speaking of punts, Adam Treloar for a goal. What a game he had Friday night. 3 goals, 35 touches.
The real man of the round.
So Collingwood basically paid him to destroy them.
Yeah.
That's hilarious to me.
That is nasty.
That is very funny. $1.57 for a goal. I expect that he'll continue on his merry way. Braden Fiorini for 20 plus disposals. Almost said 30 then. That's $1.30. Ed Richards for 15 plus. Still done it in every single game this year. He's got a beautiful left peg on him. And Jack McRae for 30 plus disposals. I think this is going to be just a disposal fest. Absolutely massive numbers.
A bit like the last game. They're both at 115, but it's going to be battle of the bad weather. Actually horrible. I'm glad I'm at home.
Absolutely. Yeah,
imagine being there.
Oh,
you have to get the Catmandu, the full body Catmandu out.
Not
the Furzy.
Mate, I couldn't stand watching a game in Ballarat. No disrespect to Ballaratians, but
I like Sovereign Hill. That was cool when I was 12.
It is cold.
A gold mine.
Oh, absolutely.
I found a tooth in there. You hear that story? I'm gold panning, and I'm like, "Oi, Dad, what's this?" Dad's like, "That's a bloody tooth, mate." So I don't know what the deal is. Someone's had a fight.
Yeah, I was going to say unsolved mysteries.
Had too many Ballarat ginger beers.
Ivan Milat ever spend any time in Ballarat?
You haven't?
Did Ivan Milat ever spend any time in Ballarat?
I said, have you?
No.
I was like, have you?
Nah, I have.
I don't know.
I don't know about Ivan.
Are you telling me?
Nah.
I don't know. I don't know him personally. I don't know him personally. Unfortunately.
This next one.
We're going to whip through this quickly.
What is there to say?
I don't even know. But we're going to Marvel Stadium. It is potentially one of the best teams that we have seen in this century
of our generation. Yeah,
of our generation, up against potentially one of the worst teams. It's not named West Coast Eagles. Yep. We've got North Melbourne Kangaroos up against the Demons. It's the Melbourne versus the North Melbourne battle, the Battle of the Melbourne. Mm-hmm. And I think I can tell you who's going to win this one pretty easily.
I reckon you probably could.
When you watch that Melbourne game, and people look and go in a couple of group chats, they're like, "Oh, they only won by 74 points." Only one, but they kicked 16 goals, 16.
Yeah.
What if they kicked even if it was 20 goals, 12? Mm-hmm. Oh, that would have been even more of a
26 goals, 6.
I actually think, and I'm genuinely mean this. I think Melbourne felt bad for West Coast and let Darling kick a couple of goals and I feel like they let you when you feel bad when you're absolutely pumping a team.
You don't play fantasy, and I do. So you sort of keep a close eye on players and see what they're doing and if they're playing well or not. No one in Melbourne was trying, apart from Christian Petrarca and Jack Viney.
Track was trying. Track was out there for blood.
Track was like, Clary's led this midfield for the last 4 weeks. Probably time he has a breather. and he just decided to go ape shit on
He's
them.
like, I just want 3 votes. Yeah.
Yeah, so they just didn't care. They honestly did not care. The commentary team was trying to, the Demons are leaving the middle of the ground open for West Coast, but so they just don't care. They just do not care. They leave in the middle of the ground open so Tim Kelly can have his 30 disposals, pump it into 50, intercept mark by Stephen May, and then just repeat the process. They just did not give a shit. It was complete whitewash. The Roos, pretty much the less said the better. They are disgusting. They're even worse than last year, which is real sad. They lost Jai Simpkin before the game. He's, a fine midfielder. Without him, completely and utterly gutless through the middle. Davies Uniacke, Lockie Young, Bailey Scott, all admirable. That was about it. D's 40 plus. Next.
D's 40 plus. What are they paying? It has to be, so this is, when we said last week when West Coast were paying $16?
Sorry, but just cut you off. You're talking about Gold Coast scheduling. How's this for scheduling?
Yeah, I know.
You get West Coast followed up with a North Melbourne layup. Good grief.
Well, they did play St Kilda the week before. They have played some.
And then they get Fremantle next week, so that'll be worth talking about.
I hate that Freo lost that game last week because it was lining up to be a very, very good good little showdown there. But you have a look here. Have you ever seen a team, and I said this last week about West Coast, and I said it the week before about West Coast, have you ever seen a team paying like $15, $16? Have you ever seen a team paying $21 to win?
Oh, no.
$21, and they're the home team. Oh, that is nasty. Even West Coast is respectable this week. They're in one figure. They're paying $7, but
good man.
$21.
That's
$21.
That's not even disrespectful. That's actually disrespectful to Melbourne.
Yeah.
You're saying
Why are they paying $1?
You're saying North Melbourne has a chance. Just suspend the betting.
What's 40 plus paying?
$1.20.
$1.14.
That's disgusting.
The line is 70 points.
Okay, so I'm going to change my tip. Don't even go D's 40 plus. D's at the line, I reckon. You got to try and find some value somewhere. I found some in the player stats, but
yeah, let's hear them, and I'll tell you what 100 plus is paying.
I'm tipping Maxi Gawn to sneak forward and kick a goal. He has really enjoyed doing that this year, and he didn't on the weekend. Had a few opportunities. I think he'll do it this week. Ed Langdon for a goal. Bit random, but
I like Langdon.
Every couple of weeks, he sluts down and jags one. Whoever North got playing on the wing against him, it's going to be an absolute whitewash, and I can see Langdon sneaking one, so that's $1.80. Track 30 plus disposals. That's $1.72. I could see him backing up a massive performance, thinking he wants another 3 votes and getting hungry. And also Track for 100 plus fantasy points for $1.28.
I don't know.
Because I had to find some value somewhere, and there was not a lot laying around.
I reckon I'd be careful betting Melbourne 100 plus, because if they do, they could have easily beaten West Coast by 100 points.
Oh, absolutely.
They just didn't want to.
Yep.
I think this line is the way to go. That minus 69.5, 69.5.
Very nice.
And I reckon that's the ticket, rather than jump on the value of $5 100 plus, because they might go and do it and make me look silly. But if they go to sleep and they just go, you know what, let's just win this game, could be in for a tough time.
It's genuinely almost wise for them to not pulverise themselves to try and run up the score. Like,
and they just haven't.
They're the best team in the league anyway. I don't think at this point, unless something drastically changes, their season's going to come down to percentage. I think they're fine. They're absolutely fine.
Doesn't matter anyway. First,
whether
second, who cares?
Whether they win by 40, 70, 170.
Do you get money? You get money for finishing on top of the ladder, don't you?
I wouldn't even have a clue. It's the most pointless trophy in all of sports.
Because you want to finish first or second. That's what I look at it as. That you want to win as many games as you can.
Absolutely.
But you want that home final.
All I'm talking about is that basically it doesn't matter what their percentage is.
They could lose every game for the rest of the year and they'd still back them in the win flag.
It just does not matter. So we are moving on, and I reckon it's time for a little bit of a seg.
It is time for a seg. So I normally do the scramble, but it would be unkind of me. It would not be sensible of me to give you a scramble. So you've went and done the reverse card on me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what have you got in store for us?
Well, look, we decided to switch it up a little bit because Des is hosting. Rich is obviously dead. So we decided that I would do a sensible scramble this week. And when I say sensible, most of these questions are absolutely ridiculous. Nothing to do with football whatsoever. I just want to get Des's opinion on a few hot topics.
And I'm a very opinianated person.
All right. Now, I'm going to turn this way just so you can't see what's
I'll be looking.
What's coming up. All right. Now, the first one. Nice little layup for you. It's not really a layup. It's just dumb. Do you think there are more porn stars or murderers in the world?
I reckon there's more murderers.
What? Why?
Like tribal people and stuff.
Do you classify that as murdering, or do you classify that as...
if you kill someone, is it murder?
Yeah, but do you classify that could just be ritual?
Can you define murder to me then? Killing someone.
Contact the Oxnard Dictionary, mate. I imagine it would be murder with intent to kill.
Yeah, but you can just just upload a video to Pornhub and you're a porn star.
Essentially. I'm thinking this really is a layup, and it's probably porn stars, because porn stars only fans.
Yeah, porn stars.
I mean, and everyone, in that case, everyone's a porn star.
Yeah, porn star.
Nowadays. Richie was actually thinking about organising a channel this week, because his voice is a bit croaky, pretty sexual.
Yeah, hotline.
It was
the
fairly...
Richie hotline.
It was fairly hot. Right. Next question. Who would win in a fight? An SAS soldier's brain in a 4-year-old's body, or a 4-year-old's brain in an SAS soldier's body?
You know what? Because and I do, like, I work with 4-year-olds sometimes.
Yep. And you're a
so you get the
grappler.
kindy. I reckon the 4-year-old can do it.
4-year-old in an SAS body.
I genuinely think the 4-year-old could do it. It's
Hold on. So
it's the unpopular opinion. But a 4-year-old going, I don't know. 4-year-olds are. It depends on the 4-year-old.
So you're talking an actual 4-year-old with an SAS soldier's body would be able to beat.
No. I'm saying the 4-year-old kid with the soldier brain.
Right.
With SAS brain. SAS guys are the elite of the elite, and they are like, the things that they think of. And it depends on the location of the fight, depends on all that. But I seriously think, like, you think of a 4-year-old in a man's body just going, but it also does depend on the level of the 4. Like, a 4-year-old can be more intelligent than me.
Yes.
Or a 4-year-old can be...
I think we've firmly established that most 4-year-olds are more intelligent than you. But my thought process is that I actually think the SAS brain in the 4-year-old's body would work purely because of the tactical
That's what I mean.
A big body is great. If you have no idea what's going on, or you have no intent to fight, no intent to know how to fight back, a 4-year-old can get it done pretty quick.
That's what I think. I think that too.
That's my thinking.
No,
anyway.
I think the little fella.
All right, good. All right. Would you rather always have to wear overalls, or overalls with no shirt,
No, that one,
or always have to wear a pair of Crocs? I'm talking always.
Always.
But
I can't. Can I take the overall? I can't take the overalls off either.
Everywhere you go for the rest of your life has to be overalls, no shirt. Or a pair of Crocs. At least with
Crocs.
It was actually a tough one when I dreamt this question up. I was thinking a Crocs as well, because at least you can look suave for the rest of the body. If you're just going everywhere with a pair of overalls, no shirt, to a banquet dinner.
You look like Uncle Elmer.
But yeah, imagine going to Ballarat to watch the Bulldogs play in a pair of overalls with no shirt. Mate,
it'd be freezing.
Horrid. All right. I said I wasn't going to ask you this one, but I have to.
Is this last question?
Yeah, last one. Would you take $4 million to be on To Catch a Predator?
Could you bump the money up anymore? $4 million, I couldn't work again. I'm almost a qualified teacher, believe it or not. And if I was on that, then I obviously couldn't work. Yeah. But you'd have to bump the money up a little bit more, I reckon.
So if you could have enough money to retire on, you'd go on that show.
If you gave me a big pay packet, I'd consider it, because you can just go away. If you said like 50 mil,
mate, I'm telling you right now, if you go on that show, you're on every watch list ever, and you are not going anywhere.
Dead to the. Yeah, you can't. Yeah,
you are not going nowhere.
Depends on how much money.
Basically, if you're happy living where you live currently,
after living, buddy, yeah.
If you're happy living there with $4 million,
nah, not 4 mil. I wouldn't do it for 4 mil.
10 mil.
Nah, not 10.
Then it starts getting ridiculous.
You've made me nervous now. No, I wouldn't do it.
You just wouldn't do it at all?
No, I couldn't do it.
No, that's fair. I actually wouldn't either. I don't think any amount of money is worth being known as a sex pest.
If you said like Elon Musk money, then I'll jump on it.
Well, I mean, if you've got Elon Musk money, you can pay to make things go away anyway.
Yeah.
It really doesn't matter to you anymore.
That is true. Oh, that was a bit of a spicy meatball.
Not bad.
As Des would say. No, I enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that.
Good.
And time to move on now. Coming down to our neck of the woods. It's at the Adelaide Oval at 7 p.m. We've got the Crom, the mighty Crows up against the St Kilda Saints. Oh, Crows have kind of fell off the hill a little bit, haven't they?
Yeah.
Crows have fell off the hill.
Yep.
They're putting in effort.
Absolutely.
They're putting in the efforts there, which is good. And the talent isn't always there. But if they're working hard and then consistently... I'm just beating the same drum here.
you're-
I'm trying to
you're
be
blabbering,
positive.
you're
I'm
blabbering.
trying to be positive here.
Look,
I'm trying
to be honest,
positive.
I actually thought that first half, I thought they gave a really good account of
I
themselves.
agree.
I thought going into halftime, that's about as good as we can ask for, being pretty much level. Because I was really expecting after the Crows' last 2 weeks, I was thinking it was going to be
a bit of a
bad.
Uh-oh.
I was thinking it was going to be real bad. So,
Wow, yeah.
holding our own, not too bad. There was lots of positives to take out of it as well. They actually had 15 tackles inside 50, so plenty of pressure from the Mosquito fleet, which you love to see. Jackson Haitley, friend of the show. Best game at AFL level. It was unbelievable. Finally, the chains were unleashed. They let him play in the midfield without tagging Patrick Cripps.
I know.
It was fantastic to see. I thought he was one of the Crows' best, to be honest with you.
I agree.
Sam Berry played really well as well. Ben Keys always plays well, but he was fantastic. Jordan Dawson and Rory Laird, they were all great.
Dawson statted up big time.
Yeah, he's
Big time
been
stuck up.
loving it lately.
Yeah.
He has been loving it. Like I said, I think there was definite positives to take away. Big thing for the Crows in this game, Jack Steele, dead. Jack Steele out with a shoulder injury. I think it does matter a little bit because he's like their spiritual leader.
Oh, I know.
He's where all of their drive comes from.
I know.
I'm still gonna tip the Saints.
I'm just seeing what the odds are because there
Just.
may be a bit of value in that. Actually.
But I am gonna
no
tip
value.
the Saints, and obviously that was a great win for them, huge win. Not many people tipped them. I did.
I was
Hats
really
off
happy to see. I didn't even tip him.
Hats off to me. I did. 7 goals to 2 in the thirds. That's what we were talking about. They just go on these rampages. I expect Brad Crouch, Jack Sinclair, Seb Ross, Jade Gresham, they'll pick up the slack to some degree. But yeah, it's a real tough game to pick. I'm going to tip the Saints because I believe in them more, but I really wouldn't be surprised if the Crows steal this.
You have to tip the Saints purely off of form. Mm-hmm. They did just beat Geelong, and they will
did.
be riding high, even though they have lost Jackie Steele, which is a bit. And how long's he out for? 2 months, I believe.
Yep, about that, which is rough. And
That stings
not,
them bad,
not
hey?
even that, to get an injury that's worth missing 8 weeks for and requiring surgery, and you played out the rest of the game, that's tough.
Oh man, he's man of steel.
That is
man of steel.
That is stupid tough. Like when he went down and he was, carrying the shot, I thought, he's done. That's day over. There's no way you come back out after that. We saw it happen to Josh Dunkley last year. Josh Dunkley dislocated the shoulder and tried to come back out stupidly, but Jack Steele came back out, played out the game. Unreal.
Yeah,
Unreal.
Would that have added weeks though?
So much respect. Oh, probably.
So
imagine if he got crunched, mate.
It'd be fucked.
They played him up forward, so he wasn't in the middle of the ground for a lot of the game. But if he got crunched bad, that could have been terrible.
Did you think if Jack Steele was playing, would you back in St Kilda a top 4 side?
Well, that is a loaded question.
I feel like they're fringe. I feel like that
Fringe?
now they're not.
Fifth or 6th?
Because they are sitting 6 right now.
There's so much room in that, 5th to 9th bracket. There's a lot of teams who are reasonably good, but not great. I think St Kilda fits in there perfectly. I think if things broke their way, I reckon they could finish top 4, but I think they're more 5th or 6th team.
Now with Jack Steele out, I think they're going to be. I hopefully they're sitting on top because watching these guys play finals footy, if they actually get up and get around it, they didn't play finals footy last year, did they? No, they didn't. They had a disappointing year. If they get around it and play final, imagine watching a team. It's just that element of surprise. You go, Saints are out of it here. They're 20 points down. You blink, oh no, Saints are up by 30. You're like, wow, where did that come from?
This current iteration of the Saints is never out of it. Never.
And I just think Crows, when you watch the Giants game, if you look at the Giants game, they just let these teams just kind of pound them a little bit.
Yep.
A little, please prepare the Poutine for pounding.
Oh, yeah.
That's what Crows do. They bend over a little bit and just let it, and just let these teams. They just let that. Richie will be laughing at that one.
Absolutely, yeah.
Shout out to Rich. We miss you, mate. We miss you. But I'm still running the pod, the Des Takeover. But they let these teams bend them over.
Yep.
And they take it. And they take it and they don't fire back. And that's what makes me nervous.
That
All it
is-
takes is one little... It could be in the first quarter.
Yep.
One little 5-6 goals. And you're looking at the score going, it's bloody 6-40. Yep. Oh, no. We've only been playing for 10 minutes.
Yeah, that is a genuine worry in this game. But, like you said, you got to tip on form. St Kilda are in much better form than the Crows are. So you just got to put them 1-39 for mine.
What are the bets?
Bets-wise, I've got Josh Rochelle for a goal. $1.33. That's good value, I reckon.
Did he kick a goal last week?
He did. Yep.
He's the king of Adelaide. I'm calling it now.
Yeah, absolutely.
King of Adelaide.
I've got Zach Jones for 20 plus disposals. I expect that with Steele out, he'll come firmly back into the... I just said come firmly. That's outrageous. He will take a
big
spot.
long horse, mate.
He will take a deserved spot in the middle of the ground. $1.30. And Jack Sinclair, who's been on fire this year for 25 plus disposals, $1.75.
Very, very nice. You didn't put them together, did you? You only do
Nah.
you only do singles.
I only do singles,
Oh,
mate. At this
very-
point, like I'm
very
not.
nice.
Wait till the weekends, then chuck them in a multi. That's always the play.
Respect that. And
Always.
you just gotta pick what you feel on the day. It's the vibe. That's what I do.
Absolutely.
So if you chuck them all in and then one loses, you'll be sad. But then if you kind of pick and choose,
And it's easy to say it
three or four.
It's easy to say it on a Tuesday morning at 7:30, which is when we're recording, by the way. But things change over the course of a week.
They do change.
Things
They
change.
do. Speaking of change, dream time at the G. Dream time at the G. We've got the Tigers up against the Bombers at 7 p.m. A very exciting game normally, but I'm going to start off with a very special segment that's close to my heart. So I am the global field correspondent, even though I am lead anchor today. I went to Japan
I'm really looking forward to this.
because I did a haiku last week that wasn't a haiku. It was just I just did a poem and I said it was a haiku.
Well received, though.
It was.
Blokes really enjoyed it.
It was bloody... Because I tell you, I'm a man of the arts. I'm a man of the Jake arts. And poetry comes naturally. Flows out of me. So I've actually got 2 haikus this week. And you're going to hear one of them now. So it's haiku time with Desmond Van Bus. Are we ready?
I'm ready. I've
How you
never
feeling?
been more ready.
All right, Richie. This one's for you, mate. And you can count... I want you guys to count the syllables as we go. Count the syllables because I had to count them a couple of times because I couldn't.
Maybe we should get that 4-year-old from my segment in and he can teach you how to count.
Yeah, maybe. We might have to. All right, are we ready? Essendon Bombers. Wow. Where are your cojones? Chol, man of the round.
Brilliant.
What do you think, Rich? What do you think?
I actually really thought that was fantastic.
What do you think, Richie?
The troll
Can't hear
inclusion, ridiculous at best, but I absolutely love that.
And that one there isn't as good as the one that's coming up a little bit later. I'm very excited.
Oh, you got
for that
another one?
I've got one for the GWS West Coast game because do you know what my thing is with these haikus? If you are playing like crap, I'm going to do a haiku on you. That's it. It's going to be the it's the slander haiku.
I love it.
Because the real thing is, Essendon Bombers, wow, where are your cojones? Mm-hmm. There is nothing. And Lloydie talks about it. And do you know what I like to see? They put Heppel in the hot seat.
They did.
They put him in the hot seat.
They
And
did.
do you know what? He fired back.
There was a no-win situation for Heppel.
They did him dirty.
It was actually quite funny.
I was
enjoyed
like,
it. Yeah.
but I enjoyed that he fired back, and he got and there was a little bit of profanities. What job profanities? But
Yeah.
little
He
bit.
was
of
getting
profanity.
angry. And
Good.
look, to be honest, rightly so, because he was just getting absolutely trounced.
And good,
But
good.
also deserved.
Because he could have sat there
Yeah.
and taken it and been respectful. But it's good to see a little bit of emotion. Good to see a bit of feeling.
The one thing I didn't agree with him, they asked about, what Lloydie was saying about Dylan Shield not firing back.
That was a child. I feel like that was a childish response coming from someone that loves his childish responses.
But I totally agree with Lloydie. Like,
I agree
Dylan
too.
Shield, you can't let people disrespect you on an AFL field. Luke Parker absolutely walloped him.
The whole
It was the biggest bullying I've ever seen on an AFL field in recent times.
I enjoyed it
And
secretly.
just nothing.
The thing with that is as well,
Heppel came out and said, "Oh, but what do you want him to do? Give away a free kick? Give away a free kick?"
that is
Yes.
such a cop out. That is such.
Absolutely. Like you don't have to give away a free kick, but if that happens, you just got to assert your authority on it. You cannot let someone walk all over you.
And I just and I agree with the point on the team as well. The team not backing him in, the team not giving him a little bit of confidence. He probably does that because he knows the team aren't going to back him in, which is just horrible. Like that's horrible if you're an Essendon fan and player.
Well, I mean,
it's what Carlton's problem was for years.
Mason Redmond was giving him a big cook for not tracking back with his man. I think the team's had enough of Dylan Shield and him being allowed to be in the 22 when he's completely out of form. And not only that, but like really a lot of it starts with, say, the captain. Because I think we all agree on this program that Heppel a bit meek as a captain. He's supposed to be the one leading from the front. If he's not firing shots, then why should anyone else?
Well, it's going to be a big testing ground for him because he has revved up a little bit in that hot seat. Let's see if he does it where it matters. Because you can talk the talk and you can show a little bit of passion, but if that doesn't translate into the and it leads from him or starts with him, starts with the skipper.
For starters, right, last week 30 tackles for the game.
That's really bad.
That's disgusting.
That is
Archie Perkins had 5 by himself. and that's
Good
it.
from the young fella. It's
Like-
still not very good, though.
No, but it's disgusting. from the
Most
rest of the
forward
team.
lines
It's-
have more tackles than that.
It's terrible.
That is really bad.
Look, we've spoken enough about the Dons. They're shit. Move on. Tigers.
Richmond
Tigers.
found a vein of form, haven't they?
Tigers.
Oh, hey. Found a vein of form.
They got pushed. They got pushed pretty early on in the game and then just broke away. Lynch is in rare form at the moment. 17 goals in his last 3 games. Shy Bolton putting together another fantastic season.
Love
He's
Shy.
gone up another level since Dusty came back. And Dusty, another 3 goals and 20 disposals. Like he never took any time off. Just mercurial. I don't know whether they're all the way back. I'm not willing to put that on them yet.
And I...
But
sorry, there was a bit of how you doing going on over here.
The boys are getting real rowdy over there. Overall though, I can't fully back him in as being back. I am going to tip him 1-39 here. I feel very confident that they'll win this game.
I don't think they are. I don't think they are fully back, but they are going to win. They're going to win this game. Essendon might fire up a little bit, and Dreamtime of the G, big game. Mm-hmm. Put it on the line, but I just cannot. You can't go past Richmond at the moment.
No.
You can't go past Richmond. You're going to back them up against most teams, especially at the MCG in Melbourne. Like, they're not the team that lost to Adelaide.
No.
They're not that team. And Dusty coming back is obviously a big spiritual leader of the group, so that makes a big difference. But they're sitting 8th at the moment. Mm-hmm. They might make a run. They might make a run.
They could do. Like I said, there's some teams in that grouping who are primed.
I'd be really, really interested. Have they played St Kilda this year? Richmond, they did, and they got pants.
Yes, they did.
They got pants by that was when I believed in the in the 5 goals in about 2 minutes pantsing.
Yep.
I'd be really interested to see that game run back again, especially with Steele out.
Yep.
And even the Carlton game, they're going to play Carlton again. They always play Carlton 2 times in a year, but those games have just gotten really, really interesting. Sure. I think it's going to be pretty elementary for them. I think the Tigers are going to get up.
Perfect. I've got some bets. So I've got Jason Castagna for a goal. $1.42. I've got Mo Rioli to turn up in Sir Doug Nichols around for $1.48. Guernseys look elite, by the way.
The majority of the Guernseys this year look really, really good.
The only one that I hated was Collingwood, one of the laziest attempts at a Guernsey I've ever seen. But
such a rich history, and you deliver the
dish up
absolute poo-poo.
But by and large, they're fantastic. I actually would love to see them become like the away Guernsey.
I wouldn't hate that either.
And wearing them most weeks. I think they look great. So Mo Rioli to turn up for a goal anyway, $1.48. Dusty for 20 plus disposals yet again, $1.28. And Nick Vlostone for 20 plus disposals, $1.35.
I'm just thinking about that Indigenous. That's what they've been doing that with the AFL women's. They've been using the Indigenous. I like them. I like it's a little bit of flair.
Absolutely.
Look good.
Absolutely.
Look good. Do you like Gold Coast?
Yes.
I
genuinely like all of them.
Didn't have the surfer on it on the side. Yeah,
I genuinely like all of them, really, apart from Collingwood's.
Ports was pretty good.
They're all fantastic.
I'm obviously
Carlton's looks incredible.
Carlton's Motlop with Carlton's on it, and Motlop's got the shoulders and he's the lean machine.
Yeah, they look really good this year. Probably the best overall year of Guernsey's.
I agree.
So far.
Brisbane's
Crows is amazing as
Brisbane,
always.
yeah.
The Crows colour scheme. Big Rich said this to us during the week. Crow's colour scheme works well with these types of designs, but
with the is it fair to say the paint, the painting design, but Brisbane as well. Brisbane's normally absolutely shite. You guys said that in the group chat, and I firmly agree with that. If I was a Brisbane supporter, I'd be buying the Guernsey this year.
Absolutely.
All right, let's move on. It's not anything relevant to Brisbane, so I can't think of a segue, but. It's a Giant game at Giants Stadium.
You said something about being shite, and both of these teams so far are around the mark.
I've been shy, and that's why there's a haiku that's coming in a minute. Mm-hmm. Giant Stadium 140 on the Sunday, first game of Sunday. We've got the GWS Giants up against the West Coast Eagles, the West Coast Bin Juice. Mm-hmm. Oh my
the
goodness.
West Coast Amber Herds.
This could be the West Coast Amber Herds, far out. Well, as I mentioned before, there is a haiku coming. I want you to count the syllables again. Need to get into my rhythm. Ready? Leon Cameron. Gone now. West Coast. Still poo-poo. Giants by 40.
You're kidding.
So that's my haiku. That's my prediction in there too, because West Coast, do you know, the only reason West Coast kicked, what did they kick, 36 points, 38 points? Well, whatever it is, doesn't matter because they still lost by 74.
It's because the Demons led them.
It's because the Demons, I genuinely think it's like, you know, like if you have any younger siblings and you're just like fighting with the younger sibling, you let him get a couple of body shots so you can just get him in the headlock. Like that's just how it is because you want to just keep him playing and you feel bad when you're the big the bigger, more more intimidating bully.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
They're letting him in. They let him in, and they just didn't care.
No.
Melbourne did not care. So
No.
for West Coast to kick that, 38 points they kicked. Like, I wouldn't write home. The West Coast fans were getting up and about, which is good.
Look. To be fair, they were excited right till the end of that game. I actually couldn't knock the fans for staying. They turned up knowing what was going to happen, and they gave it their all till the end. So good on them. I actually thought Tim Kelly had a great game, 32 touches.
When Melbourne give you the corridor to do whatever you want, like you said though.
You still got to get the touches. 32 is a good game. Jeremy McGovern was fantastic. Connor West had his best game at AFL level, really, really good. Alex Witherden all solid. Unfortunately, they just do not have the cattle to compete. The rest of their team is just not there. That's fine. Giants. I haven't been this excited for a Giants game in a long time.
I'm not excited at all for this game. I can't stand the Giants now. They've lost me. Once Jacko left, Jacko left dead.
They've got a new fan in me.
No.
Now that Leon Cameron's gone, I'm on the bandwagon.
So who? Mark McVeigh? Is he the coach now?
Yes.
Is he officially the coach?
Or Jared.
Jared?
One of the McVeighs.
I think it's Mark.
Could be.
I'm checking.
And anyway, look, new coach smell equals win.
Is McVeigh the coach? Is he
for the rest of this year?
Okay.
And the new coach smell always equals wins. And I don't foresee that streak being broken here, so I'm going to tip the Giants.
It's not a very big call though.
No, of course not. But it will hold. That pattern will hold. And Leon's last game for the Giants, we discussed it earlier, had everything that you would want to see out of a Leon Cameron Giants game. Everyone playing out of position, no contested game whatsoever, and a fat loss. Perfect way to send Leon Cameron out.
Because the advisors in our group chat, we were the only, or in our little tipping comp, we're the only ones that tipped the Giants. I thought they were gonna do the blue.
Mm-hmm.
They did not do the blue. They were up at half
They
time.
did the do.
They played better. Like Carlton got off to a good start and they fought back really well.
Yep.
But the umpires in that game, it was hot. Like the umpires did control the narrative. They were controlling the entire narrative.
Third quarter, they got on top of it.
And to begin with, they were controlling the Giants narrative. So if you're gonna if the umpire's gonna back in the Giants, and I'm gonna get a tip from it, then it's not too bad. But then when they started to jump on the Victorian bandwagon, Giants just crumbled real bad.
Anyway, look, like I said, I'm really looking forward to seeing some of those players. Cogs, Whitfield, Josh Kelly, Tim Taranto. I'm looking forward to them being unleashed, played in positions that they deserve to be played in. And I'm hoping that we see a bit of a rebirth of the Giants.
It's Mark McVeigh as well.
Good.
Mark McVeigh, the coach.
Let's go.
And any bets? Giants going to win. If you tip the Eagles, then you're probably Jace.
Yeah. Now, there was actually no markets for these Sunday games when I looked. So
beautiful.
I've just put up some random stuff. Josh Kelly for 25 plus had about 34 on the weekend, I think it was. Had a great game. Tim Taranto for 25 plus. Firmly expect that he'll be back in the midfield full time and he'll be doing exactly what he should be doing, which is getting bulk touches. And Toby Green for 3+ goals because who the hell is going to stop him?
He's looking good and he didn't kick a goal last week, so that'll be paying quite a lot. That'll be paying quite a lot.
It's a bag. It's bag time.
Look at what Five's paying and just put that as a single, I reckon. Just chuck a tenner on that and that may be the ticket.
Yep.
Well, we've got 2 games to go and they're fairly elementary as I mentioned earlier in the pod. So I decided with Richie gone and I have the creative freedom. I've done the Hulk Hogan to the WCW, mate, and I have the creative control over whatever I want.
Which is not good. But anyway, let's hear what you've got for us, mate.
I've got a little segment for you, Dan. It's called Hot or Not.
Okay.
All right. You take it as how you will. I'm going to say it's hot or not. Okay.
Hold on. When you say hot or not, are we talking about a player's footballing ability or their sexual intuition, their sexual attraction scale?
You tell me.
Go on, you ask and I'll tell you.
Taylor Adams.
Good looking bloke. Football leaves a bit to be desired. So not.
By the way, the rest of them are based off football ability. So I don't get done for being fat phobic or ugly phobic or any other type of phobic. The only thing I'm scared of is the dark. Camden McIntosh.
And people with intellect.
Yeah.
That's really intimidating.
I get overwhelmed easily.
What did you say?
Camden McIntosh.
Not in every sense of the word. I know you said about footballing ability, but I literally mean everything. I'm sure he's a lovely bloke, but...
Cam Guthrie.
Nah, not.
Alir. 14 touches on the weekend. Quiet.
Got to be careful how I answer this one.
How's football? How's he been since he's come back?
Generally, hot. He's an All-Australian defender.
Have you rated him since he's come back?
He's looked a bit off, but I mean, building.
Yeah, nah, beautiful.
I'll say hot.
Toby Green.
You got to back in the form of form. Always hot. In one sense or another. He's either fly kicking people or kicking bags, so whatever.
Adam Chera.
That is very interesting. Footballing ability.
Yeah.
Because he's a good-looking
He's
rooster.
a bloody good-looking rooster. All of these people are either good-looking roosters or battlers.
That's
you can decide who's who.
Unfair to Camden because he's neither. Look, I'll say Adam Chera is hot. He had a bit of a quiet game on the weekend, but he's generally been pretty hot.
Yeah, no, I agree. And the final one, Leon Cameron.
See ya later.
What not? But he left though.
Yeah,
He
good.
left, so that's hot.
Good riddance to
That's
bad
hot.
rubbish.
Oh, that's so hot.
No, that is hot.
That's so hot right
I'm
now.
very happy about that.
All right, we've got the final 2 games. Sorry, Richie, if your ears are bleeding, but we're going down to Tassie. We're going down to the University of Tasmania Stadium at 2:50. We've got the Hawks up against the Lions. Oh, no. Oh, no.
You could see this going one way. couldn't you?
Oh, no. Because, oh, no. Wow, this is going to be a nasty game.
I do not like the way Hawthorn's going about it at the moment.
No, they're battling.
Look, they were okay against the Tigers. That they held firm for a little while, but they're just not a good football team. They're really starting to show what we thought they would be before the season began. They had those couple of early wins, got off to a nice start.
Very well against Port. I'll never forget that.
Since then, just disgusting. They had a chance to draw close late, and Jimmy Warpel took the ball, skied it into the top row of the G, and kicked it out in the full. He's having an absolute nightmare of a season.
Poor bloke.
At the moment. 12 touches again. The rest of their midfield is just not finding enough of the footy. Jai Newcomb had about 12 disposals in the first 20 seconds. Had 22 for the game.
Oh, I didn't know
So
that from the young fella.
where did you go for the next 3 quarters? And you can't blame Newcomb because he's only a young man, but Jagger O'Meara, nothing. They're just...
I feel like there is an onus on the young fellas though. Onus on the team, around these young fellas. You got to try and get the young fellas back in the game. If they're burning, and you can tell when they're burning, especially if you're playing in the midfield.
Yep.
These senior players have got to try and get around him.
Yep.
Try and get Tom Mitchell. Try and get him try and just get the ball in his hands.
And
let the magic happen.
Obviously, he missed on the weekend through illness, but he hasn't been having a great season by his standards.
No,
obviously, a lot of that's to do with positional changes and trying to get guys like Newcomb into the midfield. But my opinion is you play your best players where they're supposed to play. If Jai Newcomb's not good enough to play over Tom Mitchell at the moment, which I think he probably is, but if he's not, don't play him there. Tom Mitchell deserves to play midfielder because he's been a Brownlow medalist in that position. I know they're trying to build for the future, but don't really like their chances for the rest of this season. Lions just proved their class.
Yeah, they were chilling.
They proved their class. Got challenged in the first half, came out second half, no worries. Just an offensive juggernaut. They just continue bagging goals all the time. It is just amazing football to watch.
Coach Fags would have been not happy with that halftime score.
Oh, God, no. Nah, mate.
I saw him.
Nah.
And
there would have been a few sprays.
I was out having a few cocktails and I was laughing. I was laughing my head off at the Golden Fleece because it was...
He would not go pussy mode like David Noble and apologise for it. Those blokes would have been well and truly up for it, and they came back out and played just like it, so good on them. They really seem to have solved their inaccuracy issues as well. I think it was
Hugh McCluggage hasn't.
16 goals, 6?
16-6, yep.
Like 2 years ago, that was 6 goals, 21. They really have sorted out their accuracy in front of goals. I really think it's them and Melbourne and then the rest of the pack at the moment.
Yeah, but I still think it's a clear Melbourne. And I think I would really love, and I know it's only round 10, or we've only had 9 rounds, but when you have these two teams that are clearly number one, they haven't played yet this year, so we don't know how they're going to really match up.
I don't think it's until late either. I reckon it's pretty late on in the season. It might even be round 23. It's pretty late on in the year.
You reckon?
Yeah, but...
Oh, no, it's round 15.
15? I knew it was one of the two.
And and round 23, so they played twice.
Oh, there you
so
go.
we're going to get 2 grand final games.
No, we're going to get 3.
But they are, yeah.
Because that is the grand final, barring something amazing happening. I just really like the way they're going about their footy. Their defence is sound just to go along with their attack. I don't foresee them being challenged too greatly here. No. Maybe for a little while,
Not
but
at all.
It'll be if it's going to be anything, it'll be a Crows-style game. They'll get challenged for a bit. Class will reign supreme, and then they'll just kick away.
3 points for Lachie Neale again.
3 Brownlow votes. Oh,
3 points, 3 votes. Yeah.
Absolutely, and it was a pretty lazy sort of 3 votes as well. He had 35 disposals and a goal, which I did tip last week, by the way. So just get around that. But Yeah, he's just a class above. That's the thing. He's the star in that team. No one else is starring week to week. Everyone just takes it in turns. Lockie Neal has his customary 30 disposals. Every other week, Lyons, McCluggage, Zorko, they just get involved, do their bit. It's an incredible team effort.
Hopefully they keep the accuracy in Tassie, because Brisbane love to miss goals, and Tassie is a breeding ground for
absolutely.
inaccuracy. But
I look forward to them kicking 6 goals, 21 and winning by 50 points still.
That's it, 6 goals, 21, and I can't see much for the Hawks. But we're ready to jump on. Let's get on to this final game.
No, I got bets first.
Oh, jeez, I'm
markets.
getting excited.
No markets.
Well, I told you when I get to this Tasmania game.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get tired.
Yeah, absolutely. Neil 30 plus goes without saying. No one in that Hawks midfield is going to stop him. Jai Newcomb for 20 plus. Even though he limped to 20 on the weekend, he will get there again. Noah Ainsworth for 15 plus disposals. He's been a beast in the back line. And Charles Cameron for 2 plus goals.
He'll kick 2 goals
He
easily.
certainly will.
Oh, it's good to watch, hey? What was the deal with the coat hanger? Came out with the long sleeve with the coat hanger. Do you know anything about that?
No, I actually don't.
The bloke, it was because I'm in a like a Guernsey like buy swap sell group.
Yes,
I love it. I shall froth it. Some of the Guernseys there are elite.
Yeah.
But yeah, the runner ran out and had his long sleeve and a coat hanger. I think he swapped it over. I think something happened with it. But it was like coat hanger and all ran out like a. I'll send it on the pod. We'll have to post it for those if you're interested.
Maybe someone had purchased it pre-game and wanted a game-worn Guernsey and he didn't want to play out the game in it.
Said, hey, Charles, I want you to stink up this Guernsey for me, mate.
Sell it for money. Why not?
Nice. But time to move on. Final game of the round. It seems to always end Sunday night. Always seems to be an Optus Stadium game. Which is,
they love it in WA at Twilight.
Sunday
I don't know.
game,
Don't get it.
Actual weird. But we're going Optus Stadium. We've got the Dockers up against the Magpies. I'm going to jump in on this one. I think this is a get well game for Freo. I think this is a get well, get better. We had a tough game. Young team do young team tings. They're just a little bit better than your average young team.
Mm-hmm.
How much they lose by last week? 69 to 33. I only wanted just to say 69. They lost by 30 odd points, and they didn't look in it at all.
No,
they looked horrible.
No,
but you look at their past form.
Based
one
on
bad week.
Based on their past form, that was just a horrendously bad aberration.
One bad week, and Gold Coast are a lot better than people think.
Yeah,
absolutely. Gold Coast are a lot better.
Yep.
Guys like Chol running wild.
Yep.
As you mentioned, the midfield, we've already talked about Gold Coast. They were running wild and in form with their horrible blue socks. Maybe that's what it was.
God, that was disgusting.
Oh, it's bloody bad.
I just did not like that. Anyway.
But no, Freo didn't look. Freo weren't spectacular.
No. All I had to say really for Freo, Brodie, massive game. He was always going to turn up against his old team, and he did just that. Sarong, Akers, and Griffin Logue all played really well, but outside of that, they were just bad. Like I said, it was just a really bad game.
Just slow, just behind it.
But a once-off. Once the rain started tumbling down and they were 20 points down, it was over from that point anyway. You're never going to be able to come back from the brink when it's raining like that. Too good not to bounce back. I just think the Pies are an absolute rabble right now. Their defence is a complete war zone. People have been giving Darcy Moore a fair bit of shit, rightly so. But Maynard and Howe are the only ones back there that are doing the job week to week. All the other defenders are just getting trounced. They're
getting their match payment and they are getting out of town.
Absolutely, and it is really quite disgusting. They just cannot stop teams running up the score. Midfield is completely toothless, bar Jack Crisp. Every week he turns up and no one else does. Jordan Ngoe had one of the best fourth quarters I've seen in recent times against the Dogs. Prior to that, did nothing for 3 quarters.
He hasn't done much, and it's contract year too.
He just did nothing for 3 quarters. So no use turning up when the game's done and dusted. That won't get any respect from me.
Yeah, Dogs already packed in the pillow and gone to bed.
Yep. Ollie Henry had 0 goals, 3 plus an out on the full, just completely out of sorts. Bo McCreary in the forward line, 3 disposals, no tackles, which is the only reason he's there. I can't see a way in which Mason Cox doesn't come in this week. No, and that's terrible.
And that's bad.
That's not good.
When Mason Cox comes in,
that's not good.
When the Cock comes in,
when he's a saviour,
you get running.
Exactly. So I'm going. Running. I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but I'm going to tip Freo 1 to 39.
So do I. Agree. I think it's going to be a get well game for the Dockers. Bets.
I've got Jack Crisp for 25 plus disposals because he just does it every single week. He's the only one of the midfield group to turn up continuously. So 25 plus. He'll love the wide expanses of Optus as well. Plenty of room for cheap ones. Andy Brayshaw for 30 plus disposals was a little bit down on the weekend, but that's because everyone was. And Brody and Sarong were doing all of the eating. I've got Caleb Sarong for 20 or 25 plus. I'm not sure what that's going to be paying. So we'll have to wait and see what the markets are when they open. And the Rock Lobster for 2+ goals. I would even stretch that to 3+ goals potentially because
Who's trying to stop him?
Darcy Moore is just in all sorts right now.
And Rock Lobster's a big man.
He is. And I can't see him not jagging a couple out west.
I'm excited now you said that.
Absolutely.
I'm rejuvenated.
Good.
Rejuvenated.
Good.
All right, legends. Thank you for listening. Remember, subscribe, like, share, send it to your friends, send it to anyone. The more followers we get this week, if we get lots of views, lots of likes, I will be the host forever.
I don't think that's going to entice people, to be honest with you.
I will be the host forever. I like it. Hey,
just-
Batman, guess what?
Share it around anyway. We always want friends. We always want followers. We always respond to messages. If you've got questions about bets, tips, whatever, send it through. And obviously, big apologies for the stuff up on the weekend. I posted the bets to Instagram, and 6 hours later, they decided to post to Facebook. So by that time, 3 of the games had already started. And guess what?
Good one, Mark Zuckerberg.
2 of them got up. Standard weekend where we finally start getting some form going, and no one's there to view it. So the moral of the story is, if you miss out on the Facebook tips and can't find them, Instagram. We're over there, Armchair AD, posting daily, nightly, and ever so rightly. Have you got anything to add?
If you follow the Instagram and you look at our stories, you actually get Buku Khamis' first goal and my reaction to that. That was very, very exciting. If you've obviously missed that because it was a story and it goes for 24 hours. If you want to see it, hit us up. Send us a message. Oh, we love it. We do. We love it. We love it. I've also got with my haikus, if you've got any particular teams that you would like me to do a haiku about, leave it in the comments because I'll do it about any team you like, any player, anyone. That's it.
That's it.
We are finished. The Des Takeover.
Catch you later. Have a good week, lads.